and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Uh, yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin, and I am joined by Mr. Unanimous Podcaster of Outsiders Opinions, Austin.
I don't know if I'd go that far, Kevin, but there was a lot of unanimous award winners, a lot more than we see on the average season.
Yeah, and let's start with, I think we'll get to those later, but we don't really have many complaints. We do have complaints about the unanimous, but these were pretty cut and dry. Rookie of the Year, Gunnar Henderson. For the AL and NL was Corbin Carroll. I think we had talked about it, but given the way everything shook out, I think we were expecting these selections.
Yeah, an extremely large majority of the ones, basically all of them, I completely agree with. And I think this was definitely one of the more boring awards to predict because, I mean, our video that we did on the subject, we only spent time talking about one award because all the rest were pretty obvious.
Yeah, which is like great for both these franchises to get these Rookie of the Years. It'll be interesting to see how they react to the pick because these are two teams where they want to, to me, they like drafting. So that's a side note, but yeah, the AL Manager of the Year, I wish it could have been Bochy, just what he did in the playoffs. But like you said in another video, this is for the regular season, and the Orioles were amazing. They struggled.
A lot of people didn't expect them making the playoffs, so them having a 100-win season, he deserved it.
Yeah, and same with the Marlins. That's a good choice. I'm surprised the Diamondbacks did struggle, so that's another thinking about the postseason. But the Marlins were great.
Yeah, it could have been either one of those, but I definitely don't think they made the wrong choice, especially his first year with the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that covers that. Garrett Cole, I think, for the AL. I know
Easy.
We both picked him. Yeah. I don't think
no
we have
hesitation.
Spend much time. Yeah. And now we have Blake Snell. He won it. He's won the Cy Young for the second time in his career, but the first time was in the AL. And that's going to be weird. I'm not a huge fan of Blake Snell, but he
walks too many. I think he walks way too many batters for him to be useful, at least in the postseason. Maybe he can be useful. That shouldn't be that harsh, but I don't think he's as elite as Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole had a WHIP under 1. He had the best WHIP in the entire league, I believe. So I still take Cole over Snell any day of the week, but because of how far Justin Steele fell off at the end of the year, the last 2 starts, it had to be Snell. That's kind of the problem, right? So I don't disagree with it at all. I think they picked the right person.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I agree with you on that. I think I would name a lot more pitchers that I would rather want than Blake Snell, even though he's a two-time Cy Young winner.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, because you brought up the walks, that's a huge thing. But yeah, Garrett Cole was great. And now let's get into it. Ohtani being unanimous, it's just there was no one else behind him that was making good of a choice. Seager was injured too much. Wander Franco had his issues. I was surprised Marcus Semien was on the ballot. There just wasn't anyone outside of Ohtani. So I understand him being unanimous because he's just an insane player.
Yeah, it was always Ohtani. A lot of Rangers fans saw the postseason like, Seager's going to win it, or they thought Seager should win it, it was always Ohtani. There was never a doubt in my mind this was Ohtani. It wasn't even close.
If Seager had stayed healthy and didn't miss 2 months, I would have been interested. But yeah, it still probably would have been Ohtani. However, Acuna being unanimous is shocking. I picked Acuna, but you also picked Mookie, which, like, how did no one else have that debate?
That is pretty shocking. Like, I'm okay with Acuna winning it, but I'm not okay with unanimous. I feel like that's a little bit too far, and I don't necessarily know he deserves that because the title of unanimous really like displays a certain level of difference between you and your peers.
There was no doubt. That's what it
Yeah.
shows. There was no doubt that this guy was the MVP, but you and I had doubt of if he should be MVP.
Yeah. I completely agree. The way that the voting went, I kind of expected at the very end, or as we got closer, for Mookie to end up losing, even though I still believe he deserved it. But I never ever got to the point where I'm like, wow, he could really be the unanimous MVP. No, I was never like that. Here's something I want to say, right? And I understand that Ohtani was the person who stole away 2 of the votes. But last year, Aaron Judge was not a unanimous MVP and hit for the most homers in AL history, along with a batting average over 300 at 311, which was second in the AL, along with the most RBIs, most walks, the best OBP, the best slugging, the best OPS, and the most WAR in baseball. He was not a unanimous. I understand the other person was Ohtani, but it was clear last year, that it was Judge. Clear. It was obvious. It was not even a conversation. But for that not to be unanimous and this is closer than it was last year. There was no universe I would see Judge have lost it in 2022. I don't see a world where they vote Ohtani over him.
But it wasn't unanimous because, like, you have to give credit to Ohtani. So yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a really good comparison. Because, like, Mookie was still insane, but, like, no one's like,
Another problem is just there's multiple guys. Marcell Ozuna got an MVP vote, not first place, but an MVP vote. So there's 10 votes you can get. Matt Olson. There's multiple players on the Braves that got those votes. So to not even have the conversation about Mookie, I think is a little bit disingenuous.
Yeah. So that's shocking. But now to bring this back to Ohtani, he's the second guy to win the AL MVP award by unanimous vote. Isn't this his second time? Yeah, he's won the MVP award twice with unanimous vote. And he's hitting free agency. This is insane.
Yeah, the Ohtani sweepstakes, I think, will go on for a while, and they'll be some of the most important moments in baseball because whoever gets him especially if it's a long-term deal, has really set up their team for greatness.
Yeah. And I think we can just go talk about our Ohtani video because this is really unheard of that this guy is hitting the market. And that's all we got. Let us know what you think in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.